Welcome everyone to lecture number 24. We have already completed the part 1 of the constitution that deals with our union and its territory. Okay, that it covered article 1 to article 4. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the citizenship. Citizenship, it deals with the part 2 of the constitution, which is present from article 5 to article 11. Okay, with respect to that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So what exactly is the citizenship? What do we understand by it? Like if we have seen while reading the constitution that there are many countries where there is a provision of dual citizenship. Like if we consider federal countries like such as the USA, where the people have a two citizenship. Okay, two citizenship, but in our country we have only single recognition of only single citizenship. That is, we have only single citizenship. Yes, with respect to states we have something called as a domicile. Okay, but with respect to the country we will be having single citizenship. Okay, so proceeding to that, what exactly is the citizenship? Citizenship is normally a matter to be dealt with the legislatures rather than being incorporated in the constitution. So India case was different, where mass migration used to take place. Like India was divided. India was bifurcated into many parts. Okay, such as if we consider from the today's scenario, that can be Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, okay, Myanmar and all, we'll see. Okay, so with respect to these countries, so India was facing a challenge of migration. Okay, and that's why our citizenship became very important to keep it, because when the migration is happening and the culture almost the looks and feel culture will be same from the western part. The people face structure will also be the same. Yes, in the eastern part there will be a changes in the facial structures and all, but yes, that was a challenge for the India to make a citizenship. So India case was different, where mass migration used to take place. That's why this chapter is mentioned in under the constitution itself. Okay, so first we have to understand citizenship. What do we understand by the citizenship? And versus aliens. Aliens means the people outside from our country, and citizens means the people who are inside from our country. So we follow Canadian mode of citizenship. Okay, we don't follow USA mode of citizenship. In the Latin word, this alien means alienus. Okay, that means a stranger. Or foreigners, or foreign. From there this word aliens have been derived. Okay, and within the foreigner also, when we are telling someone as a foreigner, then there will also be two bifurcation. One foreigner will be of friendly nature, and another foreigner will be of enemy one. Okay, let us suppose one foreigner has came from USA or Russia. Let us suppose for the India, Russia. Okay, and one foreigner has came from Pakistan. Okay, so most probably for the case in the Pakistan, that will be considered under the enemy case, and for the case under the Russia, it will be considered the friendly nature case. Okay, I'm just giving a example. Okay, so on the basis of, so what to whom country we can call it as the enemy? So those citizens of the country where war is declared, who is called as enemy. So it was just an example for you. Now, so now we have to understand like which citizens he will call as the enemy for us. So those citizens of the country where war is declared, that will be considered the enemy. For example, in the case of Russia Ukraine, for the Ukraine, Russian people will be enemy, and for the Russia, Ukrainian people will be enemy. Okay, for them both will be enemy because the war is declared between that. Okay, and if there is no war is going on between, if there is no war kind of situation have been developed, so then we can consider them as a friendly aliens. Okay, now we have seen what is aliens from there, where this term has been derived. Now what exactly is the citizens? Citizens are those who enjoy full civil and political rights. Citizens are those who enjoy full civil and political rights. They are those people who enjoy full civil rights. Okay, now with case 2, juristic personality, we'll discuss. So juristical personality, natural persons are human beings, while legally justice, persons are beings or things or objects which are treated as persons by law. For legal purposes, they are given the similar treatment as that to human beings. Okay, for in the juristical perspective, it got changed. The person can be legal, the person can be illegal. Okay, if a person is staying within the country without the permission of the judicial authority or by the provisions of the country, those person will be called as illegal. Okay, in most cases they called as illegal migrant also. Okay, so in Ayodhya case 2010, the Allahabad High Court said that particular land should be divided into 3 parties. We will give you one example case to understand it better. So in Ayodhya case 2010, the Allahabad High Court Allahabad High Court said that particular land should be, that the land for the Ram, where this case was going on, the particular land should be divided into 3 parties, Who will be those party? Okay, so within the 3 parties, one part of the land will be given to Lord Ram. Okay, and this became a juristic personality. So now this Lord Ram became the juristic personality. Okay, so juristic personality. So one section in the 1/3, it was given to Lord Rama. This 1/3 was given to Sunni section, Sunni group, that was a Sunni section Waqf board group to the Muslim region. Okay, and one was given to Nirmohi Akhada. Okay, that judgment at that time was given. Okay, so 1/3. So at that time, Lord Rama is nowhere in the world. Actually, like he is not a living being, human being, currently living here. Okay, so now this Lord Ram will become juristic personality. So what juristic personality I have told you? Juristic personality, so natural persons are human beings. Okay, natural persons are human beings, while legal, while legal, that is juristic, while legal persons are any beings, are any beings or things or objects which are which are which are treated as persons by law. Okay, for legal purposes they are given similar treatment as that to human beings. Okay, for legal purposes they are given the similar treatment as that to the human beings. Okay, so now this law drama has become that juristical entity. Okay, law drama has become a juristical personality for it, where he will be treated as a human being. Okay, and on that basis the judgment will be given. Okay, on that basis judgment will be given. So Uttarakhand High Court said rivers Ganga and Yamuna are juristic personalities. There are other cases, like one example where we have seen in Allahabad, Allahabad High Court decision related to Ayodhya verdict, where Lord Rama was considered as the juristical personality. In Uttarakhand High Court, it said that Ganga, Yamuna are juristic personality, are juristic personalities. Okay, later Supreme Court stayed the verdict of the Uttarakhand High Court. That was a separate story, but I just want to clear what exactly do we understand by the juristic personality. Even a company or industry can be treated as a juristic personality. Even a the hell is happening? Sorry for this glitch. Okay, so even a company or industry can be treated as juristic personality. Okay, so now you have understand what exactly is the juristic personality. This is one another term that we should understand as per the aspect of the citizenship. Okay, so within the citizenship human beings are given that he is the person of India, he has citizenship of India. Even there is a concept of juristical personality, where a court can consider any being, anything, any object as a juristical personality, which will be treated as the human being only. Okay, so one example we have seen in the Ayodhya verdict case, another was in the Uttarakhand High Court case where the Ganga Yamuna has been treated as juridical personalities. Even a company or industry can be treated as a juridical personality. Okay, now proceeding to ahead with the importance of citizenship. Okay, importance of citizenship, that is very important to understand. So it determines a person's full political membership in the country. What does it do? It determine person full political membership in the where in the country. Okay, his permanent allegiance to that and legal acceptance by the state of his legitimate integration into the political setup. So like those political membership requirement, legal acceptance, all are being determined by this citizenship only. Okay, a give and take relationship is between the individual and the state that happens, that is called a symbiotic relationship. Citizenship is nothing but a give, and these things can be used in the essay that will enhance your writing skill within the essay. Okay, so if this topic came, a give and take relationship between the individual and the state, it is nothing but a give and take relation, that there is something that country has promised to give you and there are something that you have promised to give it, and if you are abided by that, then you will enjoy the citizenship of the country. If you are not abiding by that, let us suppose you have participated in any terrorism related activities, you will not be able to enjoy those things and you will be persecuted under it. Okay, so for the citizenship that it covers under the article from 5 to 11. Okay, 5 to 10, within the 5 to 10, that much is not important with respect to the exam, that we will cover like what are the things that we have to study. Okay, but with respect to article 11, it becomes important for us to understand. Okay, article 11, what exactly it tells us? It confers power on the parliament to regulate citizenship. It gives the power to the parliament that it can regulate the citizenship with respect to the acquisition and termination of citizenship and all other matter related to citizenship. Okay, so article 11 confers power on the parliament to regulate citizenship with respect to what? With respect to acquisition and termination of citizenship and all other matter related to citizenship. Okay, so now with respect to article 11, we get the power by the parliament to do related amendment or regulation as per the requirement. Okay, so first that we will see the Citizenship Act that was enacted in 1956. 1955. Okay, Citizenship Act that was enacted in 1955. Okay, so with respect to the Citizenship Act of 1955, we can get a citizenship of India in multiple ways. Okay, among them, first will be on the basis of birth. Okay, on the basis of birth we can take it. So let us suppose right now we are our son, or you have been you came to this world through your parents, and your parents were citizens of India, thus you got the citizenship of the country. Okay, so by birth there is an act, acquisition of citizenship of the India. Okay, so both her parents are citizen of India, or one of whose parent is a citizen, and is other is not a illegal immigrant at the time of her birth, of her or his birth. Okay, so one is that both parents should be the citizens of India while taking birth, and another is that one of whose parent is a citizen. Okay, and other is not an illegal immigrant at the time of her or his birth. Okay, the first is like, okay, your both parents are from India, so you will got the citizenship of India. Another is that one of whose parent is a citizen, one parent is necessary to be a citizen of India, and another parent may be of foreign or of other country, but that parent should not be an illegal immigrant, at the time of her or his birth. Okay, another is by descent. Okay, like property, or if you have lived here, okay, or your parent is living here, so in that way. Dual citizenship also work in the case, let us suppose one of your parent is from India and you have taken birth in America. So in that case, you will be given citizenship of India as well. India will give you citizenship, and as per the American law, if you have taken birth within the American region, you will be given the citizenship of America as well. Okay, so till the age of 18 you can have dual citizenship, but after 18, with respect to the India will ask you to, you have to choose only one citizenship after 18, on that basis only you will be proceed for further in the country. Okay, the first by descent is that either of her parent should be a citizen of India. Another, dual citizenship, that I have just told how will it come, and I will tell you interesting story about that also. And third, provided also no such birth shall be registered unless the parent of such person declare in such form and in such manner or may be prescribed that the minor does not hold the passport of another country. Okay, so it is like we should not hold the passport of another country at the time of taking birth. So provided that also no such birth shall be registered unless the parent of such person declare in such form and in such manner as may be prescribed that the minor does not hold the passport of another country. So passport of the that child should not be of another country. Okay, passport should not be having of the child of the another country. Then only on the basis of that the citizenship be provided. So first, like either any of the parents should be a citizen of India. Other, like dual citizenship can be held, that has the terms and condition of the age of the 18. That I will tell you the interesting story about that. And third, the continuing with this dual citizenship, within the dual citizenship, if the child is minor, is having a dual citizenship, but at any case that child should not have any passport of another country, and their parent has to give a declaration for that. Okay, if that minor has a passport of any other country, then that person will not be allowed to give a citizenship of India. Okay, so now we'll have a story on that, how this is interesting story on that. Okay, so in India we follow something called as a jan sorry we something called as a jus sanguinis. I don't know how to pronounce it. As per the spelling, I am spelling it jus sanguinis. Okay, what does it mean? It means law of law of law of blood. Okay, no matter where you born. Okay, if your parent is of India, then we'll be able to give you the citizenship of India. So in India we follow jus sanguinis, law of blood, no matter where you born. If a parent if a parent is Indian, you will be an Indian. Is Indian child, or you will be an Indian. Okay, in USA, here India we follow what? Jus sanguinis. In USA they follow jus soli. Okay, now you will understand it, how it is different. Jus soli means law of soil. Anybody who is born at the soil of USA, that child will be the citizen of America. It means any child born at the soil of USA, that child will be the citizen of America. Okay, in America they follow jus soli. Okay, in India jus sanguinis, law of blood. In America jus soli. Okay, now we'll try to understand what exactly does it mean. Okay, we'll give you a very interesting example of it. So a lady was traveling from Hong Kong to USA. A lady was traveling from Hong Kong to USA, and that lady was 9 months pregnant. That lady was 9th month pregnant. According to the rule, she should not travel for this, but somehow she did. She managed to travel in the flight. Okay, in flight, doctors were also there. Okay, doctors were also there. And as soon as flight entered into the American airspace, as soon as the flight entered into the American airspace, okay, she gave a baby birth. She gave a baby birth. Okay, and that baby became the citizen of what? Citizen of USA. That baby became the citizen of USA. So dual citizenship for India, how it is happening? We in while reading constitution, we have mentioned that in India, at any case, we can't hold a dual citizenship, but that there is an exception for it. In one case, we can hold it. Okay, where, let us suppose a husband and a wife went to America. Let us suppose let's suppose a husband and wife went to America. Okay, and they have a baby birth. They have a baby birth there. Okay, then according to a USA citizenship, it will hold the citizenship. Okay, as well as Indian citizenship, because their parents are Indian, then that child will have the Indian citizenship, and even as per the law of America, that child will be having American citizenship also, because that child has been taken birth in the soil of America, in the region of America. Okay, and this has to be done by registering at Indian consulate at a USA. Like if the baby has been taken birth in the USA, that has to be, if you want to register for the citizenship for the India, in that case you have to, you have to go to Indian consultancy, Indian consultant at USA. Okay, so this is a part of like a process for it. So now we have to understand, like, if a baby birth, that person can take a citizenship of the India, and that person can take a citizenship of America as well. When that child will become, let us suppose now, when this child will become 18 years, then she will be given 6-month window period. Then there will be 6 months window period will be given to the child to drop one citizenship by the India. Okay, to drop one citizenship. Okay, not any case the child will hold two passport, as I have said in the type 2, by descent, that either of his parent can be citizenship, dual citizenship will also occur, but within the dual citizen also, not at any case the child will be having two passports. The child must have a passport of India only. If the child is having a passport of America, then that child will not given be a citizenship of India. Okay, that is the important condition here. Okay, but with respect to the dual citizenship, yes, that child can hold. If the child does not have a passport of America, the child must be the child must have a does not have a passport of America. Okay, and the child can have a citizenship of India by the registration by the Indian consulate at USA. At any case, the child must not have a passport of any other country. If the child has a passport of any other country, then he will not be given a citizenship of India. And after 18 years, once the child will achieve that, if the child is holding two citizenship, then the child will be given 6-month window period, drop one citizenship. Okay, and child must have to drop one citizenship after that. Okay, so that is a process of it. Holding two passport within India is a, even I think almost for other nations as well, it is a crime. So okay, you can't hold two passports at any case. Okay, now we have seen the citizenship, one by the birth, another by the descent. Okay, in the descent there was lots of a story that was important for you to for me to give, so that you will understand it better. Now third will be your citizenship by registration. Citizenship by registration. Okay, a person who are married to the citizens of India, that can apply for Indian citizenship. Okay, a person, let us suppose, is married to a Indian citizen, that person can apply for Indian citizenship, but minimum living in India, but for this minimum living for that person in India will be of 5 years. That person must have lived in India for at least 5 years. Okay, that was your by registration. Okay, now with respect to let me there are few points will differ the Drishti IAS. Okay, or let me I have the citizenship led by the government that is given. Okay, so citizenship of birth, citizenship of birth, citizenship by descent. Now citizenship by registration. Okay, citizenship by registration. Yeah. So a person who is married to citizen of India and is ordinary resident in India for 7 years before making application for the registration. Okay, so let me correct it. I have given a 5 years. It was not 5 years. It is of 7 years. It is of 7 years. Okay, so the note where I am referring that was written 5 years. So no, it is of 7 years. So a person of India origin who are ordinarily resident in India or 7 years before making application for the registration. Okay, and a person of India origin who is ordinarily resident in any country or place outside undivided India. Okay, it should not be a person can be from Pakistan, or that person can be of Myanmar or Bangladesh. No, that person should be from undivided India only. Okay, then only that person will be given citizenship of India. So the Drishti IAS, it was a consolidated here. Okay, so citizenship can be acquired by the registration. Some of the mandatory rules are: so a person of India who has been resident of India for 7 years, not 5 years. Let me correct it here. I have written it is 5 years. No, it is of 7 years. 7 years. Okay. Now, a person of Indian origin who is a resident of country should be from undivided India. That I said, like a person should be of Indian origin by registration if you are going the process by it. So if you are applying through the registration, so in that case you must be not from the undivided India region. Okay, a person who is married to a citizen and ordinarily a resident for 7 years before applying for the registration. So the day when the person is applying for the registration in the marriage case must be attaining 7 years. Okay, minor children of the person who are citizens of India, that can also be applied by the registration. Okay, that I have said in the previous example in the American case where the child has been taken birth, that can do a registration at the Indian consultancy. Okay, so with the registration that can be done. Okay, now through descent we have seen. Now by naturalization, a person can acquire citizenship by naturalization if she is ordinarily resident of India for 12 years. Okay, and fulfills all the qualification in the third schedule of the Citizenship Act. And this act okay, so what exactly is the third schedule, that we'll see. So first let me explain this naturalization in detail so that you will understand better. Here this naturalization is not given in detail. Okay, so by naturalization how we can achieve the citizenship. Okay, so she is not a citizen of any country where citizens of first is like that person, she is not, she or he is not citizen of this citizen of any country where citizens of India are prevented from becoming citizens by in the naturalization. So let us suppose the example of such case is Saudi. Okay, so in by naturalization, in one condition is like she is not citizen of any country where citizens of India are prevented from becoming citizens. So let us suppose in the Saudi, Indians are not allowed to take a citizenship there. Thus thus the people of Saudi are also not allowed to take a citizenship in the India through naturalization. Okay, now she renounces the citizenship of other country. Okay, so if is holding a citizenship from the country, that the person has to be renounce the citizenship of another country. Okay, and she has an adequate knowledge of she has an adequate she has an adequate knowledge of this adequate knowledge of language. This tab is not working. Not getting, let me pause it. Sorry for the glitch. Adequate knowledge of language specified in the 8th schedule of the Constitution. Okay, so by naturalization, so if she or he must have a language, she must have a knowledge of the language that is specified under the 8th schedule. Further, she intends to reside in India. In this 8th schedule, there are total 22 language has been mentioned. Okay, now fourth point, she intends to reside in India after naturalization. So that person has to live in India after the getting the citizenship. So she or he intends to reside in India after naturalization. After the process of naturalization, on the basis that person will give the citizenship, that must have to be live in India. Okay, and note the important point here to is note is that important point here to be noted is that that person must have stayed for 14 years, minimizing all the travel outside the country, then at least 12 years. So like 14 years that person must be stayed in India. And let us suppose if you are within the region, if you have traveled most of the country outside and all, so even if you reduce those period, so at least you must be having a 12 years within the country. So minimizing all the travel outside the country, minimizing all the travel outside the country, then at least 12 years. See, this point nobody will mention you. Even I have opened this Drishti IAS, you have seen that in Drishti IAS also. This notes within the paid one, they must have been teaching in details, but here whatever the notes is given here, they have simply mentioned in the terms like with the in the resident of India, person can acquire citizenship of India through the 12 months qualification in the mention on the 3rd schedule. They have just mentioned actually 3rd schedule. So whatever the point that I am telling you, that is mentioned under the 3rd schedule. So they have given a point in short term, so that okay, so whatever the points under the qualification given in the 3rd schedule, you must have been qualifying those things. So on that basis only the person will be given citizenship on the basis of naturalization. Okay, but so there must be a knowledge of in detail. So what are the terms and conditions for it? So Adnan Sami was given on the basis of naturalization, the citizenship for the India. Okay, so that's what I'm telling. So the person must have a 14 years of stayed within the India and minimizing all the travel of outside the country. Then at least it should be 12 years. So this power of giving citizenship is given to the Home Affairs. This power of giving the citizenship is given to the Home Affairs by naturalization. The central government may waive all or any of the condition by for naturalization in the case of a person who has rendered distinguished service to science, philosophy, art, literature, world peace, and human progress. Okay, so central government has the power to waive all any. So if central government want, so central government can waive any of the condition. Let us suppose a person A is not satisfying this condition, that 14 years condition, 12 year condition. Let us suppose person is getting 10 years here or 11 years here. So the central government has the power to waive any of the conditions from that, all or any condition, even all of the conditions, and the central government can do that. Okay, so on what ground central government will be doing? So on the basis of the service that person will have, let us suppose person will is very knowledgeable in the field of science, in the field of philosophy, in the field of art, in the field of literature, world peace, human progress. Okay, on that basis also person can be given citizenship, but the power at that time is reside with the central government. In such case we'll see Nansami. There is one more example where one military official from the Pakistan who gave the secret information to the Indian military, during the war. So Indian military promised them at that time that will give you a citizen of India as a safeguard for you, and will keep safe you as well. Okay, so that person gave the secret information to the India, and that person was given security within the India, and also been given to the citizenship of the India. Okay, so yeah, so that are the some exception that is considered under the power of central government. Okay, so every naturalized citizen must take an oath of allegiance to the Constitution of India, loyalty. Okay, so by incorporation of territory also that can happen. Now whatever the scene we have seen, that it was on the basis of person. If the person want, on that basis that person can take a citizenship. But there is a condition. If let us suppose India has captured any territory on now, if the territory has been captured, so now those people living in the territory will be the citizens of India. So incorporation of territory. Okay, so if any of a territory becomes a part of India, if any of the territory becomes a part of the India, okay, so the government India shall specify the person of the territory as a citizens of India. If India has captured any other territory as a part of India, then the people of those region will be considered as the citizens of India. Okay, so this is the schedule 3 that has been mentioned on the naturalization. So within the schedule 3 you can go through it. Whatever I have told you, that was the compiled version of it, and that is a sufficient thing. But if there is any doubt what exactly is the thing, so you can go through this, you can easily find this on the Google. So acquisition of the citizenship by the birth, so all the terms and conditions are mentioned here. Then it will be by the descent. Okay, one second, this tab is not working because it got heated much. Okay, okay, so by descent, citizenship by descent, and by registration, and by naturalization. Okay, Now if we proceed here, we'll see that there are certain conditions for the registration of people for the overseas of India as well. Okay, so we'll go through it, also for it, in or by one is the citizenship of incorporation of the territory. Okay, so let us go through it in this lecture only, then we'll discuss about the loss of citizenship, how can it be done. Okay, so the registration of overseas citizens of India. So let us suppose the central government may subject to such condition restriction as may prescribed in the application made in behalf of the registry any person as overseas citizens of India. So any person of full age and capacity who is a citizen of another country but was a citizen of India at the time of at any time after at the time of or at any time after the commencement of the constitution. Okay, so at the time of commencement of the constitution or at any point of time, if the person was a citizen of India and he, let us suppose he renounces it and after that again he wanted a citizen of India, so on that basis for the registration of overseas citizens can be done under the overseas citizenship. Okay, under the concept of overseas citizenship. Further, who is a citizen of another country but was eligible to become a citizen of India at the time of commencement of the constitution. If those person were not given the citizenship, so that person can also be given a citizenship called overseas citizenship. Further, who is a citizen of another country but belonged to a territory that became a part of India after the 15th August 1947, those people will also be considered, can be considered under overseas citizenship, but they have to apply for it. Who is the child or a grandchild of a such citizen will also be considered under the overseas citizenship. Okay, a person who is a minor child of a person mentioned in the clause A, this one in the clause A, provided that no person who is had the citizenship of Pakistan, Bangladesh or such country as the central government may. So if the central government give any list of the country for that region, if those child should not belong to that country, so in that condition that person will not be given citizenship of the overseas citizenship. But the country, let us suppose the person is from the UK, USA, and during that time his grandfather was a citizen of India. He was living in USA. Now he wanted to take a citizenship of India. His grandchild wanted to take a citizenship of India. So in that case, he can apply as a overseas citizenship. Okay, so there is a provision for that as well. Okay. Yeah, so there was Citizenship Amendment Act also, so we'll discuss those things in detail, and renunciation of citizenship will also discuss in detail. Okay, in the next lecture. I hope you have understand this thing, and we have taken that schedule 3, that if you see the document, this document starts from the schedule 2. Schedule 1 has been removed. Okay, schedule 1 has been removed from the citizenship of thing. Okay, Citizenship Act. So we'll see it later in the coming sessions. Thank you.